Hey, what's up guys? It's Art Book Addiction here, and we're here with a new artist journey video. So today, we're going to be talking about Christmas, okay? Or the holidays, depending on where you stand on that, Hanukkah, whatever, what have you. I can't name all the Christmases or the happy holidays and all that stuff, but I wanted to make a video about it because I feel like this year, it hasn't really felt very Christmassy, and like I don't know, that Christmas cheer isn't quite there, and we know why, because 2022 is right? But I wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about it, how it affects art, how like during this time, and just similar to like Halloween, artists make stuff for Christmas. You know what I mean? They like you can see it on Twitter. There's a lot of Christmas in work, right? In the work, and I wanted to talk about it, right? So before we start the video, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, check out my prints and Patreon if you want to support the channel. Consider becoming a channel member. And with that, let's get into it. So Christmas, it's the holidays, it's the winter time, right? People are coming together, to a warm place, getting cozy, right? It kind of changes the way you think, right, for the moment. And in art, it's the same thing, right? There is something about Christmas that really brings people to want to make Christmas content. You know what I mean, right? And you'll probably see it this year. Every year you always see like Santa stuff, right? As an aesthetic, right? It's a really great thing for art. You know what I mean? Artists like Haddon Sunbloom, right? The man who invented Coca-Cola and basically invented the modern image of Santa, right? With his art, basically created the entire look and feel of the current Christmas that we know, okay? And that's very impressive to do, right? And through that artist spirit has been, come through it to many people, like, whether they're like, artists or not, right? But the artists have definitely been inspired by that and taken upon themselves to make Christmas art, okay? And why not? Why not? It's the happiest time of the year, quote unquote, right? And it just has this like great influence and like design, right? There's Santa Claus, there's the elves, you know what I mean? It's again, I would say the Halloween is a little bit more powerful in terms of like artists making art for it, right? But Christmas is right behind it, you know what I mean? Because with Christmas, you get to have like, everyone you get to have like the character, and you have the Santa Claus suit, right? Or they're in the elf suit, right? There's a story that gets to be played out, right? And it's cool to see your favorite characters in the Christmas spirit themselves, right? And then you get to see them all happy, like, oh, everybody's gonna get gifts, you know what I mean? So it's fun. There's a wholesomeness to it, right? And that wholesomeness comes through in the work, right? And so it's a great subject matter with like a lot of times you could have like a series with like you have the bad guys and the good guys, right? And like for Christmas, you could have them all come together and they're like, fuck it, let's all have a fun time, right? Let's all have a little Christmas day, right? And it's that spirit of like, hey, fuck it, dude, it's Christmas. You know what I mean? That really comes through in the work. And, it's great. It's great. Making Christmas work is, it not only does it make you feel like wholesome, you know what I mean? But it gives you like a greater sense for like the universal like love that's happening during Christmas, you know what I mean? Because like you're making it, other people are making it, right? There's this great like interplay between the two. It's fantastic, okay? and it's so festive, and it's just one of those classic subject matters, right? You see it in like Norman Rockwell's work, right? You see it in like I guess again Hans Sundblom, right? All the classic illustrators, you see there's always something to do with the holidays, right? Because it's part of it's a very important part of the year. It's a human universal, right? So it affects like a huge majority of people. A lot of people who don't celebrate Christmas, okay? Because you could be celebrating Hanukkah, right? Which also has that holiday spirit, right? Some people who, don't celebrate Christmas do now, right? Like people in Japan, right? With their fried chicken, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that's about, but like they love fried chicken there. And so you see that a lot represented in their art, you know what I mean? Right? I've seen a lot of, what do you call it, like Japanese artists, they do Christmas and they have their characters and they're all eating fried chicken, and it's again, but it includes that wholesome environment, right? And that's fantastic. It's fantastic for art. And if you guys have never made a Christmas piece, maybe this is your sign to give it a shot, right? And it's really good aesthetically because there's a lot to chew into. You know what I mean? There are many stories, right? And again, like it's played a part in history for a long time. You know what I mean? So like if you think about like older artists, right, before Christmas now, right, there's like more religious art that's associated with it, right? And like during that time, like that, like there are a lot of scenes depicted in art, right? And it's just, I'm not gonna say like it's all fantastic, right? But what I'm saying is the spirit of it is really nice, okay? Wholesome, family oriented, right? You have the Christmas tree, a great symbol, right? There's a lot to chew into in terms of subject matter. So, I really really enjoy Christmas and its aesthetic, right? And I love, especially like the characters, right? Like Santa Claus, fantastic character. Like you have Mrs. Claus, you have the elves, the reindeer, right? So there's a lot to play with, right? And you could kind of, and some people, they like to like mess with it and be like, ooh, like scary version, you know what I mean, or you know what I mean, like a creepy version, like so it's there's a lot to go around, right? So even if you didn't like the Christmas cheery attitude, right, you could still use the aesthetic and like kind of like creepify it, and make oh, there's something wrong, right? So just as a subject matter, there's so many opportunities to do something, right? And again, Christmas, another thing about Christmas, I just thought about this right now, it's like, I'm sure for a lot of artists, right, it's kind of like a time to rest, okay? Time to, take a break, you know what I mean? Get some hot cocoa or coffee or what have you, some tea, right, a warm beverage, sit by the fireplace and just really feel, the cold, you know what I mean? How it makes you shiver a little bit, you know what I mean? But like you feel warmed again by what have you, the heater or the fireplace or something. And it's great. It's a great feeling, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like another core of the holidays, right? Just like feeling cold outside but warm inside, right? And you want to put that in your work, okay? It's the soul of that thing, you know what I mean? And that wholesomeness, that combining of family, the warmth, right, and the cold outside, right, and then like it's the end of the year, right, so you get to like take stock a little bit, right? It's a great way to cap off the year, you know what I mean? And it really makes you feel like like it makes you slow down a little bit. You slow down, you can now like look at what you've done over the year, right, and feel good about it, or feel however you feel, right? And you could really, again, slow down, right? So for the artist, right, for the artist journey, I would say this is the time to, you know, like you like ramp things down, right? So especially for me, because I have like my hand issues, right? The cold tends to slow me down a lot. It bogs me down. It you know, the joints are stiffer, right? So I can't be as like go at it as before, right? So now I have to like work a little bit slower, right? Take my time with it. You know what I mean? And I encourage you guys to do the same, right? You know, of course, you guys want to make you know, you want to push out your Christmas piece, right, to get it out there, but in general, I think people will just slow it down, and then like, you know, now's your time to, you know, make that piece, make it really good, you know, like spend that extra effort in, right? And it really comes out in the piece, okay? Because a lot of Christmas art I see is very, very, like, it has a lot of heart in it, right? There's a true, genuine love in the piece, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that. And I think it's because people are coming together, slowing down, you know, even if you don't, like, you know, enjoy certain aspects of Christmas, I think there's definitely something that, like, there's a Christmas spirit that kind of comes into you, right? And then, like, you know, it flows into you and into, you know, your paintbrush and then onto the canvas, right? And it's just a beautiful process, right? And I don't know, it's nice. So, you know, if you guys, like, even if you don't make something, right, take the time to, like, look at what you've done this year. You know, take stock, right? If you know, if you haven't done much, then, you know, look at what you've, like, how the year went. You know what I mean? Whether good or bad, you know, you could think about what you're gonna do next year, or you know, if you did do good, right, how did that happen, right? You know, my year, right, I think artistically fantastic, dude. Okay, like, look what I'm making, dude, right? Look what I finished recently. You know what I mean? You know, this is not necessarily like the best background for Christmas, but, you know, I've really made a lot of progress this year, and I already talked about it in the previous video, but again, the Christmas kind of came in and allowed me to start thinking about that, right? Start feeling like, okay, well, it's your year in review. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you get the Spotify wrap up and all that bullshit. So it's like, it makes you start taking stock of the year. So, you know, slow down, you know, get that Christmas piece done. You don't have to rush it. You know what I mean? Slow it down a bit. Take a little break. You know what I mean? Right? This, you know, if you've been working really hard, slow it down, right? If you haven't been working hard, well, you know, just do what you're doing, you know, because Christmas time is that break time, right? You know, it's like you just got off of school, you're like, no, I'm not now my Christmas break, 2 weeks or like a month or whatever, depending on what school you're at. But it's fantastic, okay? And take the time to snuggle up, get warm, you know what I mean? See your family, right? Or if you don't see your family, you know, just have that wholesome spirit like come in with you, because it only comes once a year. And, you know, with the years, you know, being what they are, right, after 2020, you don't really get much wholesome cheer anymore, you know what I mean? And especially this year was kind of rough for Christmas, right, if I'm honest. But, you know, take that moment to let it in, right? And art can help with that. Art can help you bring it into you, right? That art is that spirit of Christmas, okay? So yeah, enjoy Christmas. I'm gonna say Merry Christmas to you guys, okay? I know that's like corporately not allowed, okay? Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, you know, happy all whatever you have, right? Happy non-Christmas if you kind of soft celebrate Christmas, right? But yeah, take this time, enjoy it, because it only comes once a year, and maybe make a Christmas piece, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe, check out my Prince of Patreon if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member, right? Ring that bell for notification. Merry Christmas, guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.